It's Tresa Lieutenant from A Wealthy Life for Her, and my good friend, Wonderful Morrison. And she's the owner of Lead Her Consulting. And you know what we want to talk about this month at Wealth Circles? We want to talk about how women are really held back from levels of shame that they have around their financial lives. And I know, Wonderful, you and I have talked about this a lot. Now, you own a
Mhm.
business and you've owned several businesses in your life. So you've been on the journey of entrepreneurship. So what is it that you would say about your level of shame around finances and how that's held you back?
I think there's a couple things. So at the root of the shame situation is I come from a family and culturally from a space where women are um the trophies of their husbands and
Hmm.
the accolades of their parents, right? The accomplishments of their community. And we don't, I wasn't really taught to express
Right,
who I am.
right,
And, women, and also not just culture or family, but the era I grew up in. We were
right,
still trying to come out of the fold of women standing up for themselves. There was very far
right.
and few between and not really modeled very well, uh, in media or anywhere where we could get our hands on to read about. So, that really laid the foundation of my entrepreneurial journey.
Right,
And
right.
at a really young age, my husband and I were approached to take over a business, and we thought, fantastic, which is great. Thank God my husband's such a really kind human, but I never really spoke up for what I thought. So I spent a lot of that entrepreneurial journey in the background. I
So I
built the
just have to say,
structure.
this is I mean, I think women are going to be nodding their heads and relating to this because women
Yeah,
are made to feel guilty and shameful about stating their opinions, about having, we're shamed about the emotions that we have, the fact that we are
right,
strong feeling individuals. And that's
right.
exactly what I would like women to realize is that when they feel guilty and shameful about their money, it isn't necessarily their fault, right?
No, not and I think there's an internal and external shame that belongs to that too, because
Mhm.
our environment shames us. So then we carry that shame as like, oh, it's us. It's not the behavior or the experience of that particular situation. It's us, like at the
Right,
core of who we are. And then
right.
you associate that with a space where you have to lead. Now, money is a very strong connection to leadership.
Yes.
And so now you're having to be, the sort of the leader of the family, the leader. And can there be two leaders in one household? Absolutely. But when were
Absolutely.
we ever taught that?
Right,
Never. It's
right,
always like,
right,
who wears the pants in the family? And there's
right.
shame in that. And that's all attached to bill paying, bills not being paid, which ones get paid, which ones, all of that kind of, I think eats, well, what it did for me was I made everything that wasn't happening the way it should be about me. Yeah, and I think it's a lot of ideas that weren't birthed from ourselves,
Right.
right? It was ideas that we've either seen expressed out into the world where it's attached to words like success
Mhm.
or attached to words like wealth or attached to words like richness. So
Mhm.
there's these two extremes. It's either you're going all out and you're becoming all these big words, or you're just, you know, submissive and quiet and you allow the things to just I think we need to have a balance of understanding that we can be
Yes.
both on a regular basis. We just don't know, we don't have anybody that's modeled that for us. So
Right.
then we carry the shame of thinking, well, should I want, here's a good one for entrepreneur. Should I want to make millions of dollars?
Yes.
And then if I
Yes.
do, should I donate a,
Yes.
a huge portion of that to make me feel good about the money I've made through my
Yes.
hard work?
So that's
Right.
one of the reasons why I'm grateful that you're going to be a co-leader for our discussion on April 24th at Wealth Circles. Because, how do we get over this? What is a
Hmm.
strategy that we can use as women to like smooth things out and begin to embrace financial wealth? And the whatever it is that we want with it, it doesn't have to look any way, right? We all get to
Right.
stand in our own desires and our own choices around it. But what if it was just easier? And what if it made us feel better instead of making us feel
Right.
bad? So
Hmm.
join us, everyone, on the 24th at 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific time. And the way that you register is to visit awealthylifeforher.com, and you can read more about past topics and future topics and how it all works. And you can register right there. So thank you, wonderful. This is great to chat.
Thank you. Can't
Okay.
wait to see you all.
Okay.